Mormon Jesus Underpants. Travis Van Goodsell there. Yep, never saw the show, but I'm very familiar with the character Captain Underpants. All right, Jasmine, your turn. Try to let off some steam of the evils of Mormons. Seriously, I grew up in Southern California. My parents, being born and raised in the Covenant Mormon themselves, both went on missions, made sure that we lived in white supremacist neighborhoods. And not in Utah, though. My mom, as extreme as she was, made sure that we never lived in Utah. We're never born and raised in Utah. But this is where she wanted to retire. Dear God. So, yeah, I knew all about the evils of white supremacy. And then I moved to Utah in August 1996. And I went, holy crap, this is the church I was born and raised in? What happened? What's going on? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Living the Twilight. James and Jasmine are not Mormon. The missionaries came and knocking on their door and said, hey, we're all about Jesus and the testament of Jesus Christ called the Book of Mormon. And so James and Jasmine were looking to investigate religion, and so, oh, okay, well, we'll check you out and investigate. No. You just need to pray and get the right feeling and then join the church like your neighbor. Yeah, they're smarter than that. Jasmine is even smarter than Exfo Nevermoes, as a Nevermo herself. Because she went to the primary source documents of the Joseph Smith papers. And by doing so, she found in the 1835 edition of the Doctrine and Covenants, section 101, monogamy. And so that's not section 132. What's going on? And so she was cheating on me. Going to Exfo Nevermo channels and sites, spreading the lies, circulating them around, and then she found me. And she's into women's fashion through AI. I'm into women's fashion. It was a match made in heaven, as I have been able to assist her with her study and research. Now, unfortunately, 2 months ago to the day, I was cyber attacked, and destruction still exists to this day because it's right before conference. This is the pattern of practice of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because they don't like it when people tell the truth about them. And Jasmine and James had some problems of their own that they got involved with as well during that time. And so it's still going on, but Jasmine's trying to come back, trying to get caught up on the 2 months of videos she is behind on. Never going to get caught up, Jasmine. Never. And so, I had replied to her email to me yesterday, in which I sent her a picture of her being interviewed by a bishop for a Temple Recommend interview, and about her having to wear the magic underwear. I mean, it's covenant underwear now. It's not magical. So despite what the temple says, Hoax is saying, no, it doesn't. It will be a shield and a protection to you against the power of the destroyer until you have finished your work on earth. That's where Mormons get the magic from. Dumbass hoax. Just pure evil. And so I was upset that I had forgotten to use that picture in my video yesterday, which got uploaded today. Right? Yeah. Sacred Privileged Underwear updated in LDS Church Temple Bondage. And so, yeah, I told her I was kicking myself because I could have used that one instead of the awesome picture of underwear covenants. All in favor of Lucifer's plan of bondage, please manifest it with the uplifted hand. Uplifted sign, I believe I put in there. And so Jasmine replied, "Hey Travis, no physical violence towards yourself. Kicking is not allowed unless it's somebody else's ass." And so, yeah, she watched the video and commented, "It's long, and I didn't mean it to be." Why, Jasmine? I miss you. I miss your comments. I created a whole playlist for Jasmine comment reply videos. It's been sitting there at the bottom of the list for 2 months, Jasmine. 2 months. I see Victoria's Secret. Jasmine. Jasmine. You edited this too. Jasmine. Our women's fashion is between us, Jasmine. And so, the video she replied to was the very video on the Sacred Privileged Underwear this morning. And so, good morning, Travis. And because of the problems that they've been having the last couple of months, Jasmine has not been able to record her voice saying, "Good morning, Travis." Which I wish my computer, when I bring it up in the morning, would, come on and say, "Good morning, Travis." Like in Star Trek. Why? Why can't I have that technology? I had a flip phone once. I am catching up on your content. No, you're not. You're 2 months behind, dear. 2 months behind. Those others are not missing out. It's hard for me to memorize things I read, but I can verbatim remember vocal conversations. It is that weird. You have associative memory. I fully understand. I am worried about you, Travis. You look sad. It's been 2 months, Jasmine. 2 months. Of course I'm sad. And you're rocking back and forth. Yeah, because it rocks. It's an office chair. It tilts side to side. I'm struggling because the pad that I bought is flat. So I've now had to makeshift it to give it more cushion. And I have to have it so that my tailbone sits so that it's not directly applying pressure because of the baseball injury when I was a little kid in Southern California and blah, blah, blah. If I put the emblems, the marks, magic underwear, on my Victoria's Secret lingerie, would that be church acceptable? It would not be church acceptable, but it would be acceptable to Jesus Christ underpants. I worked. I worked at the church's Beehive Clothing, where they had the sweatshop of Mormon women, mostly from the Magna area and the immediate Salt Lake area, who were poor and getting paid. They actually had to, it was a quota for the, dear God, they were mistreated badly, and they probably still are to this day, as the guy in charge of the Beehive Clothing came back from his vacation in the Philippines to laugh at how the Mormon women sewers had it so good, as the sweatshop in the Philippines, which had children employed by the church. I don't know if you've heard about certain clothing companies that have been protested by activist groups for their child labor practices in foreign countries. Well, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is pulling the same stunt, and nobody's protesting them. But the church claims that, well, the economy in the Philippines is such that we have to employ children in order for them to take care of their families. How many trillions are you sitting on? Refusing to invest in people's lives so that they can pull themselves out of poverty and contribute to the economies of the various nations. Whereas Africa is the perfect illustration of all the charity the church has given, and Africa is worse than ever. You don't give a fish, you don't teach how to fish, you invest. That investment will produce prosperity. Not just for the one, but the one invests back into the community for the good of the whole. It's a basic economic principle, and yet the church, along with the rest of this nation, run by corporations, all insist Reagan's economics of trickle down. No, it doesn't trickle down. It's a corporate lie. They say that they need the money for the betterment of the economy. We all know that's a lie. And thus America has collapsed. We're all doomed. And so, while working there, given a tour, being shown the various places and such when I first get there, on my orientation, I was told these are regular clothing, similar to the rest of the world. What makes them sacred and holy is when the sewers sew on the marks. At that point, they are now considered sacred and holy. And so I remember when the church used to allow women to sew in their own marks on underwear. The church would provide a kit for women to sew with the requirements of where to put them and how to make them look and blah, blah, blah. But the church stopped that. And at that time, yeah, you can buy any underwear as long as it was white. Now, there is exceptions that the church has, because I saw it at Beehive Clothing. Those who are in military or police service, like undercover cops, they need colors. So the church provides it for him. It has nothing to do with the church's underwear itself. It's the marks, and the marks alone. Just like what the scriptures of Joseph Smith say concerning the sacrament. It mattereth not what you eat or drink, as long as your eye be single to God. And so, get drunk on Mountain Dew for the sacrament. But they will never do that. It'll always be water. That's the tradition now. And because of the tradition, it has now blinded Mormons to the Doctrine and Covenants passage. And so only those who have glucose intolerance or other issues, like on my mission, when I went to Connecticut, got transferred into Connecticut, we're there at church, and another set of missionaries came up to me and says, don't say anything when the sacrament is passed to our investigator. One, she's not baptized, right? So she doesn't have to partake of the sacrament. You did instruct her on this. But because of her glucose intolerance, they had a special lettuce leaf for her. I wasn't concerned about that. I, as a 19-year-old kid, knew about the Doctrine and Covenants passage. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why are you making this an issue? Why are you assuming that I'll make it an issue? Anyway. So yes, Jasmine, put it on your pink Victoria's Secrets, or do you go black? Inquiring minds want to know. It would be acceptable. Who's going to see it? The bishop's not supposed to look. The only way people would find out is if you were wearing something sheer and white. And you can clearly see your black Victoria's Secrets. Which would be hilarious if the marks were clearly visible. Oh my God, hilarious. If you comment, reply this, I am asking you to stop and give us a big smile so we know you're okay. So are you ready? I have missed you, Jasmine. Dear God, that was hilarious. And allergy season's really hitting me hard and early before the rest of the news finally told you guys that you're being hit hard with allergy season. Because the red eye that I had gotten weeks ago, that was before the news even announced that allergy season's going to be bad this year. I already know because of my allergies that can kill me. The phlegm in my throat that stops my breathing, the runny nose more frequently, and blah, blah, blah. And yes, eye irritations. I don't think missionaries came out on Saturday, but the convert is having some medical problems. Uh-oh. Not having enough faith in Jesus, huh? He needs to get to the temple and wear that underwear. For the covenant blessings, not magic blessings. And they came to check on him. Then they came to check on James too. Haven't they caused enough problems with James? James is black, by the way. It's an interracial couple. The missionaries, when talking with James and Jasmine, said that James is a fence sitter in the premortal council of heaven and he needs to get baptized. Yeah, you lost out on your numbers, elders. Not racist since 1978. And if you didn't know, and I've been telling in previous early videos back in December when James and Jasmine first found me and made themselves known unto me, Brigham Young had the death penalty for any white Mormon girl who went black and never went back. Yeah, for the man too, not even being a Mormon. Brigham Young was a bloody murderer. Not just a racist. Alright. They asked how we were doing and if we were still reading and studying. Yeah. They're wanting to know if James and Jasmine have repented and have gotten the right feeling. I explained that I have read all of their doctrinal texts. I asked if they have read the Joseph Smith papers yet. Surprisingly, they haven't. It's not surprisingly. The church, knowing Mormons would never study it, if especially the church never announced over the pulpit of conference the needed changes to be made, Mormons will never know what changes are supposed to be made because the prophets aren't telling them. Mormons are waiting to be compelled in all things. Only the rich people are buying the Joseph Smith Papers publications to sit on their shelves and collect dust if their maid doesn't do their job right. And they have maids in preparation for the millennium, which is already here. Just Jesus failed to show, Nelson failed to complete the temple and the palace. So there was no coronation. And so as frustrated priesthood holders, the priesthood holders in Arizona lashed out against women. James asked how the Church of Brigham Young of Latter-day Saints is doing. They were offended. Really? Oh, because it's Heber J. Grant, dear. Heber J. Grant is the founder of this church, and it's not the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's a business. It's no longer a religion. It's the corporation of the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Heber J. Grant, 1923, November. So the first conference held by this church was in April 1824. What we just had was the 100th General Conference. Nelson is number 11, not 17. They don't want you to know that. They were offended by that because they responded with the Church of Jesus Christ as doing fine, and there is no better place to be. Yeah, so says the hostages in the terrorist death cult. I asked if either of them have read the 1879 edition by Orson Pratt. I love you, Jasmine. Or the 1920 edition by James E. Talmage. You have those on your cloud thing, right? Can you link me? I don't know if I've got those. I might have Talmages, but just in case, my files are a mess and need to be organized. So just in case, can you link me to those, please? Thank you. I also asked if they knew that another Testament subtitle was added in 1981. They weren't even born yet. They weren't even sperm yet. Rather than answering the questions, they asked me why I have such an interest in trying to make the Book of Mormon a bad thing. Huh? What? Did you guys graduate? You're supposed to graduate. Oh my hell. I explained, I am not doing that. James asked, how can you prove the Book of Mormon is accurate and true? If it's written according to 1 Nephi chapter 1, verse 2, how do you justify your belief in Jesus? In case you guys didn't catch on, the video that I just put up, Lucifer Trembles in Horror, I again added another passage by Joseph Smith, which 123, isn't that also? Yep. This was also when Joseph Smith was in Liberty Jail. Do you understand this? This was March 1839. He's in Liberty Jail. As the prophets Hinckley and Monson declared, Joseph Smith excommunicated Thomas B. Marsh for defending his wife's honor over spilt milk. Nope. He's in jail. Joseph Smith knows he is under attack by people trying to destroy his church with Christianity. Verse 1 of the Joseph Smith history of 1838. Who put Jesus Christ in the title of the name of his church? Oh, you don't go to the Joseph Smith papers to find out Mormons? It was Willard Richards. The Joseph Smith papers is evidence of the fact that Brigham Young and his apostles were in charge of the Danites, who cooed Joseph Smith's church and are the evil-disposed and designing militant persons trying to overthrow Joseph Smith's church. In October, in the minutes of the High Council, President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Brigham Young, was in attendance at the meeting with President of the Quorum of the 12, Thomas B. Marsh, who would then leave in November, being threatened by the Danites to accept Joseph Smith as the Danite leader when it was Brigham Young. Thomas B. Marsh should have known it was Brigham Young. They called him president. And so I kind of wonder if Thomas B. Marsh was not in attendance at that meeting, because the minutes say there was not enough to form a quorum to conduct business, and so they had to adjourn. What happened to all the leaders of the church? And so, yes, the false creeds. Joseph Smith again reiterates, after giving the 1838 vision that would not be able to be published in the Times and Seasons until 1842. And reiterates in more graphic detail verse 19 of how Christianity is an abomination. They asked us if we believed in Jesus. I told them I believe in God and I believe in Travis. Perfect opportunity to rub it in, Jasmine. Tell your mission president I believe in Travis. And I believe there is or will be a Christ, and that I don't think I should have to pay tithing or wear a special underwear to pursue my worshiping. Come on, Jasmine. Do the lingerie for 'em. They will call you a witch and porn. They asked us how we would feel. I just watched the Thoughts and Prayers episode of Star Trek New Generations. Oh my hell. It's bad enough that they brought in a psychologist to screw up everybody's mind. Dear God. I told them I have no fear. Oh, wait a minute. They asked us how we would feel about going to one church service. Just one won't hurt. All the cool people do it. No one ever needs to know. This will be our little secret. Just sign right here with your blood. I came up with that as a child. It was from a movie, but I added on to it. I don't remember the movie. It was most likely rated R. But that's where I got it from. But I can't remember where I got it from. To relieve our fears. Yeah, that's the feeling trap. Ignore the truth about what you're reading and studying. Thus, the video. Yeah, the new Spiritual Witness Feeling Edition of the Book of Mormon, released in 7,000 languages. No need to read, just feel that it is true. You've missed so much, Jasmine. I miss you. I told them I have no fears. I read, I pondered, and I prayed, and I got no burning in my bosom. That's good, Jasmine. You have no STDs. As they say, or no spiritual revelation, though I have got some spirits last night. Are we talking alcohol, Jasmine? They said I should read more. I told them I have read 4 different printings of the Book of Mormon. The 1831 Book of Commandments. It's 1833, Jasmine, but typing error, no big deal. The Pearl of Great Price, and almost done with the Saints. She's awesome. I love her. Where's that woman in my life? 2 failed marriages, and neither one of them knew their scriptures. How much more do we need to read to realize what you are preaching is not accurate? This is why Jasmine is my bestest friend. Again, they seemed offended. which I thought was funny, because they were born and raised in the church. They've attended church. They've listened to conference. They went to seminary and graduated. How dare you? They have titles. You have to respect the title. Which is conference videos that you missed, Jasmine. Don't read the history of the church's version from the saints. Oh, it's full of lies. Nelson butchered the Kirtland Temple history in his little conference video for, oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. How much more do we need to read to realize what you are preaching is not accurate? Again, they seem offended, which I thought was funny. It was hilarious, Jasmine. I wish you would record these encounters. As they were leaving, James shouted out, "The Joseph Smith Papers is free to read, and it's authorized for missionaries to go to." Unlike those porn sites. You should read it and come back and try to get us to join. James turns the trap back on the missionaries. Pushing feelings, James pushes reading. It's fundamental. Edited part. I think I found a place online to get the underwear. Yeah, the church. You go to the church's site, I believe, and they should link you to the store. Oops. I should be allowing this. You have to sign in with your membership temple recommend number so that not anybody can do it. Maybe not. Let's do search, order garments. They send you to the ordering online process. That's store.churchofjesuschrist.org. So it's a different site, but it's connected. And there's a pretty woman working at the 17th and 17th store. I don't recall seeing her taking the bus. But yeah, they're all required to be Mormon working there now. They phased out all of the non-Mormons, the apostates, from the print press. That was the final one that they grandfathered out. And so, browse garment options. Okay. And of course, we want to browse female garments. Women's clothing, women's garments. And they call it garments. Results for women's garments. If you are not seeing the expected results, please sign in to view. They're keeping it a super sacred secret. They had a video on it on YouTube, but that's as far as they'll let you go. Can't see it. It's hidden. Because it's embarrassing. Reveals our evil. James says I should get some and modify it for one of the models to wear. Wow. And so it's possible that those who left the church are wanting to get compensation back for the unopened, right? Unopened. The church has Deseret Industries, which is a thrift shop that's extremely expensive, in which people donate, because they won't buy new stuff or make new stuff for the store. It's all used stuff that people donate. And so, yes, people donate what they don't want. Just like donating food. They donate the food that for some reason they bought and they don't want it. And so, yes, it's then given to the poor, and the poor have to settle for it. And, yeah, the white supremacist elitism says that if beggars can't be choosers, is what they chant. Yes, we can. We're in America. The church has not overthrown the government yet. We can choose. But anyway, dear God. And so, yeah, I never did video like Exmo Lex did of modeling the temple robes. And I saw another ex or former Mormon who modeled the underwear over the top of their clothes. Come on, dear. Come on. We need to see how it fits. But nonetheless, it is illegal to wear or show in public? No. The church just doesn't like to be exposed. This is why it's underwear. Nobody's supposed to see it. Mormons are supposed to wear outer clothing that completely covers it up, which is why women have been putting the biggest pressure on the patriarchal abusers to modify the underwear for the new fashions that they are forced to buy. And so, yeah, the church caves because they know that they're supposed to make women happy. Yet, when you piss off the patriarchal authority, they get revenge and deny you rights altogether and allow sperm to be the bearer of rights. All hail sperm. Gotta be nice to women. Every man knows this. And yet... And so no, it is not illegal. If you've purchased it, you're not Mormon. You just say, oh, is it yours? Then how was I able to buy it? I think it was Alice Cooper. Did Alice Cooper wear pink LDS underwear at a concert? Oh dear goodness, did Alice Cooper dye his garments? From exmormon.org. There's a connection between Alice Cooper and Donny Osmond. Did Alice Cooper's Schools Out album come wrapped in underwear and a pair of panties? Oh, okay. Alice Cooper's panties banned. U.S. Customs banned their import. You've probably heard the myth that Alice Cooper was a Mormon. Most of you have probably dismissed the myth as complete nonsense. You drop panties. Okay, I guess we're going to have to go to the ex-Mormon source. Because this was back in my early days. Purple. Funny that a former TBM, to be Mormon, should do this. Because when I was a teenager in Southern California around 1980, do I know you? Do I know you? Who is this? Posted by Lurking In. Do I know you? You were there with me in Southern California. There was a rumor going around among the TBM kids in my area that one of the popular hard rockers, he's not hard rock, oh my hell, Metallica was the first to be considered hard rock. God, you're a disgrace to Southern Californians in the 80s. I believe it was Alice Cooper had been a Mormon, left the church, then used his garments, dyed purple, as a stage costume during concert performances. There was never any substantiation of the rumor. All the work. And it's possible it was so long ago that they most likely won't have the picture of it. Because I believe it was Mormon men wearing the underwear. Why aren't women doing what you guys are doing? Why? Why? We don't want to see you. We want to see the women. She is pregnant. I gotta type it in just the right way. See, Mormon women, you look at them and you go, wow, beautiful. And the white dress for the temple, and then you talk to them and you get to know them, and then you go, oh my God, I need to run. What's this? Interesting. Okay. Okay, now I need to type in purple LDS. Let's do underwear. Yeah, they don't seem to go back that far in the past. So that we would know. There's the panties. White panties. Cool. Sure enough. There's Mitt Romney running for president. Magic Underwear, Mormon Church. Huh? Why is there so much men? Where are the women? And why are the women's heads cut off? What the hell? Ooh, there was also a pink panties set edition too. That's cute. Wow, you use several different types. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, so apparently it's not made available. Huh. There's Claire Cooper's purple lingerie. It's a bra and panty set. That's about as close as they're going to give us. And the rest are all frustrating. I love Mormon girls. There's your panties, Jasmine. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I love Mary Jane. That's marijuana. Seriously? You have to only get the one size. Pentecost. So much fun online. So I'm gonna settle for the 300 by 300. I'll email it to you, Jasmine. Alright. There was never any substantiation of the rumor, but as an impressionable TBM youth, we had no trouble believing it because, well, I did. My white supremacist peers, which he should have also had white supremacist peers, were also believing in the tabloid journalism that Stevie Nicks sold her vocal cords to the devil so that she can have a great singing voice. The Procter & Gamble had the symbols of Lucifer on their products. And that kiss stood for Knights in Satan's Service. A lot of fun stuff was flying around back in those days. Anyway, fast forward a few decades, and although I can't find any mention of the rumor on the web, I can. LDS Living apparently did it. Cooper actually did have an indirect connection to Mormonism. His father, named Ether Moroni Fernier, was a preacher in the Brickertonite movement. That's Sidney Rigdon's branch off. Right? The church sees Sidney Rigdon as Smith's rightful successor. Sidney Rigdon didn't. And you're calling it the Church of Jesus Christ. Sidney Rigdon didn't. Oh, my hell. Community of Christ, now the Brickertonites. Oh my hell, what's next? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? Oh, associated with ignorant, and his grandfather was an apostle in that faith, at least according to the TBM website. So yeah, they wouldn't have had the magic underwear. The covenant underwear. So. We're sorry, the page you're looking for is no longer available. But here's some Ardith Cap and his marriage pictures. Well, Maddie, again, you know, Mormon women are cute and adorable until they speak to you. And then you gotta run for the hills. Okay. And what does the church have against the cross? It's Christian. Which doesn't make any sense, because the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is Christian. And so as a missionary, I was told to tell people we don't focus on Christ's crucifixion, we focus on his resurrection. That's why. And thus we fool Christians into joining the church, paying the money, and wearing the underwear. You're now in bondage! So there you have it, Jasmine. I miss you. Come back to me. Come back to me. Temple of Doom. I think. Yeah. Temple of Doom.